Hello, intrepid followers, subscribers, and watchers of my YouTube videos. Today I'm doing a different kind of video. I talk about my comic books, I talk about places I go to get comic books, I go to comic book conventions. But today we're doing something different. This is called comic book editions. I got this idea from another friend who does this, Magic Lasso. Hi Ryan. And he talks about the comic books he's adding to his collection. So I thought I'd try doing it myself. So this is my first episode of it. It will happen whenever I have new comic books that I bought. Not like new comic books, because that's New Comic Book Day. If you haven't seen those, I have a short. I made a playlist of the shorts showing the new comic books I get every week. This is more other things I'm getting, things I've gotten from people like AOKs or from giveaways. And specifically also, I'm trying to flesh out and continue to get all the comic books of volume 2 of Wonder Woman. So I've got a lot left to get. I'll put a picture of what I have left to get right here. It's a lot, but it's dwindling down. I've gotten a lot, and that's what I'm going to show you is those Wonder Woman comic books I got, a giveaway I got, and some other comic books I got recently when I went on a trip to Portland. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, so first I'll start with the stuff I got from the giveaway. Legion of Comics does a live stream every Tuesday after mid-morning, like around between 11 and 1-ish, depending on the time zone you're in. And so he does a little giveaway. He does a little like video and just chats with people live on YouTube and gives away stuff. So I won the giveaway a few weeks ago. So I'll show you what I got in it. I got this really cool cover from Martian Manhunter, or Absolute Martian Manhunter. It's #1 in the series. And then I got this really cool Justice League Unlimited. It's another variant cover. I think that's Christopher Reeve. It's supposed to look like Christopher Reeve. And then there was a pack of books. It was a part of a package. I already opened it from Ollie, which is a store that sells like stuff at a discount. So it was just a random selection of comic books that was for $4.99. So it includes Batgirl's number 13. And then a book called The Killer, Affairs of the State, #3. This looks interesting. And then some of them are a little older books. But this is another new book from an indie Oni press called The Mighty Zodiac. And then here is Ray from, I don't know what year this is, but it's Valiant Comic, but it's Ray or Rye. I don't know if it's Ray or Rye, R-A-I. I don't know if that's how you spell the name. And then there's a comic book from a company called Action Lab. It's a NFL themed comic book. And this is like a variant cover, so that's the Dallas Cowboys, I believe. And then here's the main cover of the story. It's sort of like Super Pro. If you know what Super Pro is, you can ask Bearded Comic Bro. Shout out to him, another comic book creator, content creator. I might even give this to him. He might find that interesting. And then there were some stickers. The first one is a sticker from Strangers in Paradise for Free Comic Book Day from last year. I thought it was really cute. I'll put that on something that I have these holders I put my comic books in, so I'm going to definitely put that on there. Just really cool. Strangers in Paradise is like a really well-known indie comic book. I have not read myself, but I know it from back in the day. So I wanted to read it and see it, but it should be interesting to read. It's more of a drama series about two people living their lives and stuff. It's really interesting. And then Legion of Comics also included ABX Comics and Games. This is a store I guess he goes to. It's a super shiny, shimmery sticker, so I'll put that on my comic book holders. And then some trading cards, some comic book trading cards. These are some DC comic ones. His daughter picked them out for me. So one of the ones you picked out for me, I was really excited to get, was the Crimson Fox. So Crimson Fox was in the Justice League Europe series back in the late 80s, early 90s. So I thought that was cool. And then of course a Nightwing one I was really excited to get. I might add that to some stuff. I have like a section of my wall here that's got Nightwing on it. So I might in some way get that framed or put into a frame with another thing. Because Nightwing, I mean, I can't go wrong with Nightwing. I love Nightwing. And then that was one that was really cool. I didn't know they made. It's Fastback. He's a member of the New Gods. He's sort of like a, I don't know if it's Flash, super speed kind of person, but it says it on the back. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it. So there's those things. And then recently, when I was at the comic book store that I go to, Everett Comics, they told me they got some new Scotty Youngs in variant covers, and I got I got 2 of them because I love the characters and I love what he did in them. One of them's Avengers 1 billion BC, I think is what it is, and it's the Phoenix Force trying to kiss Thor's dad. I thought that was crazy because that's the whole storyline. It's about Thor and his lineage, and the other one is also Thor related, and it's Angela of Asgard. If you don't know much about Angela, she was a character that was created for the Spawn universe. The person who created it didn't want it to be kept with the Spawn universe, so he got it back, and then he gave it to Marvel to use. And they've made some really cool comic books with her in them. And this is another variant cover for that series. So yeah, I thought that was cool. So stuff I got in Portland. I got a few different things. First off, I got sticking for some reason. That's weird. I got these postcards at Comics Adventure. This is a comic book store in Portland. So I got this T-shirt there too, and they had like a spinner rack that had postcards. So I got some Wonder Woman postcards. Aren't those cool? So I thought those were cool. I actually might send one of them to a person that I know that also loves Wonder Woman comic books. So he will be looking for those. That one of those will come to him soon. Before we go any further, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more of this fun shenanigans that I do here on the internet on YouTube. So I hope you enjoy it. So one of the other stores I went to was Cosmic Monkey. And I was there with my friends, and one of my friends, she goes by Comic Girl, and her name's Mars. Hi, Mars. She suggested some comic books for me to get. One of them was this comic book about anxiety. So I picked that up to read because I have anxiety, and that's really cool to read. And then this other one, which is about vampires, because I do like a good vampire story, and it's called When I Arrived at the Castle. This one is more of an adult-themed book. So not for kids. So if you're interested in vampires and stuff like that, definitely check it out, but not for kids. And then I filled in some missing books, of course, from my back issues, and one of those was Teen Titans, number 22. Got that. I've got some other ones from Teen Titans too as well. And then a new series that came out that they didn't have a copy at my store when I was there when it came out was Bitterroot number 1. This is the 1960s era of the storyline. If you haven't read Bitterroot, it's a person of color comic book about supernatural stuff, and this group of this family that's job is to protect the world from the future supernatural. So I thought it was really cool, and so I got that. And then one of my other friends that was with me, John's Comics with Kids, he suggested another book. This one is not safe for work. It is called Money Shot. This is the 0 issue, sort of like a one-shot called Money Shot by Tim Seeley and Patton Oswalt. And again, not safe for work, so I won't show you any more than that of it. And then, of course, I got a Wonder Woman book. I got number 197. This has got Flash, a crossover with Flash, so I'm excited to add that to the volume 2 of Wonder Woman. Okay, so then we went to Powell's Books. If you haven't been to Powell's or know what Powell's is, you should Google it. It is a giant bookstore. Giant. And I mean giant. It's not like a superstore like Barnes & Nobles or something like that. This is like 4 or 5 buildings that they connected together to make a bookstore. And it's a labyrinth. You can get lost in there if you don't know where you're going. And we almost lost someone when we were there. So I was with my friends Bearded Comic Bro and John's Comics with Kids, and Bearded's wife, Mrs. Bearded, and John's daughter, Charlie. And I found, I lost this comic book. I owned it and I lost it. It is issue 1 of the Black Label, DC Comics Black Label, Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons, and it's the variant cover. And I believe it's Nubia. It's supposed to be Nubia, but isn't it gorgeous? It's just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So, and it wasn't on sale, but it's a good price, $10.99, very close to the original price of the comic book, so that was cool to get. So then we went to this place called Future Dreams. I couldn't find all the comic books I got there, but I got a bunch of comic books there. I did a video about Future Dreams and about these stores we went to, so I'll put a link to that video down below, and it'll be at the end of this video, so you can check that out. and I found this collector set, unopened, Shadow of the Bat. Look at that. Never opened collector set. It's got the book, three-dimensional Arkham Asylum pop-up, 2 full-color Brian Stelfreeze posters, official blueprint of Arkham Asylum, and a special edition bookmark. All in this bag. Part of me wants to open and take those things out, and part of me wants to keep it in the bag. I don't know what I'll do with it. Comment down below. What should I do with that comic book? Should I open it? Should I keep it like it is? Should I do a giveaway or sell it? Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. So the next comic book store I went to was Excalibur Comics, and I went there twice. Once by myself, and I got some Wonder Woman comics to fill in my Wonder Woman needs. And then I got a book that is sentimental for me to help be a memorial to remember my friend Jen. Comic Books Will Break Your Heart, because we were in Portland for her memorial. And so I got this book for her to memorialize her at my place, where I live. So it is a Swamp Thing book. Swamp Thing was one of her favorite characters. This book spoke to me. This was Jen. I saw this and said, this is Jen. She also loved Batwoman. I have a Batwoman wall, so I'm going to add this little card I have of Jen to that wall. But I'm going to hang this up somewhere here with my DC collection behind me, so I can remember her that way. So that's one of the things I got there at Excalibur. And then I got some Wonder Woman, so I got number 74. And then I picked up 161. I'm going out of order, of course. 161. And then issue 92 while I was there at Excalibur Comics. So, filling in some spots in my Wonder Woman stuff. It's really great. Okay, so the next books I got from Adventure Comics. And they're like more south area of Portland, just a little south from the main areas of Portland. I got a book there that I was recommended to get because, well, it was a book that Jen liked, and it has to do a lot with grief and loss. And it's called The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. Look at that cover. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm looking forward to reading this. This is a Boom Studios comic book. Eisner Award winning, too. Or nominated. Eisner Award nominated book. And then I picked up this other book that's Wonder Woman related. It's not Wonder Woman Volume 2, but it's Wonder Woman related. I got the first issue. It is by Chris Claremont, and I didn't know Chris Claremont had done anything for DC. So I wanted to read it. I thought it was a good story, and I wanted to read the next part in it. So I've got book 2. It's an Elseworlds, DC Elseworlds, back when they had the Elseworlds imprint, which is just essentially other stories, like what-if stories. Their versions of what-if stories and sort of gruesome stuff and horror stuff. So I thought it was cool. So Superman and Wonder Woman, book 2, Whom Gods Destroyed. All right, so let's get into the last bit of comic books I got. Again, some stuff from Adventure Comic Books, and they were fill-ins. I finished a run, but I didn't realize I didn't have it, but I was missing issue number 4 of Nightwing from the Rebirth era, so I picked that guy up. And then I've been trying to also collect the Titans run, which was mainly Judd Winnick or Devin Grayson was involved with. So I got, that is issue 11. And then I got issue number 2. This has a Superman on the cover. Really cool. And then another series of comic books that I was trying to get finish up getting was Teen Titans. So I already showed you issue 22. All I was missing was issue number 24, the last issue in it, sadly, of the run. And there it is, Teen Titans number 24. And then when it comes to Wonder Woman, I picked up the annual number 5 from Volume 2. Again, an Elseworlds tale. And then I picked up Wonder Woman number 220, crossover with Batman making a guest appearance in this one. And then I have issue number 222, where Cheetah's back. Good old Cheetah, one of her biggest arch nemesis, Rogues Gallery, one of her Rogues Gallery villains. And last, I picked up one I've been searching for a year, and then as I was searching for it, they announced a omnibus of all the books, and I was like, well, great, that's expensive. I wish I'd known about that before I started buying all these, but the books themselves aren't that expensive, and they cost less to buy those than the omnibus. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to get it anyway, so I have it. Well, not the omnibus, but I was missing issue number 1 from DC versus Marvel, or Marvel versus DC. So this is the late 90s storyline in which, well, they combine their universes. DC Comics publisher and Marvel Comics publishing was like, let's do it. Let's do a team up. Let's do a big giant crossover and have everything come together. And so they did the crossover, and within that crossover, they did this thing called Amalgam Comic Books. I think I've got all the run of the Amalgam Comic Books. I was just missing that comic book for the run. So I've got I think it's 4 or 5 issues, maybe 6 for the actual crossover. And all the covers look like this. They have something going down the middle, this like lightning going in the middle, and a group of characters on either side doing something. Marv, Jurgens, like just a different great bunch of creators and stuff, comic books. So that is everything I've gotten for my first episode of Comic Editions. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a good day and enjoyed the video. And remember, as always, say it with me, comic books are for everyone. Bye.